Hello. It's me, Krusty Loves, and I'm home for a little bit from Raleigh. And it's raining and it's sunny and it's thundering a little bit. That's really soothing. Sound of rain just hitting the roof and stuff. Hoping it'll start thundering here in a second. I'd love to get some thunder on here. Come on, thunder. But anyways, I thought I'd post a video. It's been a while. Just been living my life. Living my life because you know that's the only way I live it. And I've been doing my thing, doing my dirt. But no, life's been good, man. Life's been great, actually. I can't complain. I have no reason to complain. I got nothing to really complain about. At home. At school is another story, but... Oh, and there is a Skype message. Let's see. Or a Facebook message. I don't know if you guys heard that. Let's see who it was. Oh, okay. Oh, look, the sun's coming out. Oh, the rain's stopping. Goodbye, rain. That's what happens when you live in the mountains, man. No telling what type of weather you're gonna get. Alright, just some rolling thunder, rolling thunder. I'm going to be doing another podcast with Casket King, probably later today. I know he's been waiting for me to get on. I've just been, laundry, dishes, just been doing my thing. Took my first couple of days to myself once I got back, so... Yeah. Life's been alright for me. It could be worse. Ammon's curse has been creeping up on me. Like the incredibly bad luck. My friend Casket swears that my life should be a movie. All the things that's happened in my life have been pretty insane. I wish I could tell you guys what's been going on at school. But I don't know if I should right now. For... personal reasons, but I definitely will let you guys know. But I'm just gonna say it would make a really good after school special. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it would make a really good after school special. But I will be releasing what's been going on there at school sometime in the future. Probably a ways in the maybe 3 months to 6 months in the future, whenever I can't get any wave back from it, that's when I'll release it. But I don't know, something I don't know, man. My life is weird. I have this thing where bad luck follows me, or I'm really weird situations that shouldn't be able to happen in real life seems to follow me. I mean, I know there's billions of people on the earth, so if there's a way something could happen, it does happen. Right now there's probably a guy snorting cocaine off of a stripper's butt cheek somewhere in the world. That's happening, probably. So, I mean, anything's liable to be happening. But some of the stuff that I go through is bullcrap. You know what I mean? I try to just duck and cover. Don't look at me. I want to just blend in and go to school, do what I have to. And, trying to working on being able to get my goal is to eventually get my master's and then go on to get my doctorates in psychology so I can become a grievance counselor. And I want to work with terminally ill children. I know that's a messed up career to want to be in, but someone's got to do it. And I think I would fit that bill pretty well. I do. I think I would fit that bill extremely well. Um, I will say there's positives and negatives about going to school. The positives being that I have made a bunch of friends, and you'll know more about them later. There's Danny, my suite mate, because we're in the same like suite together. And then there's Lou and Trixie and Sam and Stormy and Ida, and there's a bunch of them. And I made some really good friends that genuinely care what's going on in my life. You know what I mean? Like on a serious, And I love hanging out with them, man. And then there's Tracy. I mean, there's a bunch of them, and then Poland Park is really cool. If you ever go to Raleigh, so go check out Poland Park, Raleigh, North Carolina. There's also a place in Raleigh called Irregardless. It's this like jazz club restaurant thing. And they've got like the best vegan chili I've ever had in my life, by the way. And it's so good. But anyways, some of the stuff that's been going on up there has been extremely great. And friendships that I've made up there, genuine friendships. It's not based off of a lifestyle of you have something I want, so I'm going to be your friend, or you have something I need, so I'm going to be your friend. It's genuine friendships based off of I enjoy hanging out with you, I enjoy being around you, and I want to spend time with you because I think you're cool. You know what I mean? Like it's really cool being up there because it's like a bit, like whenever you graduate high school and time goes by and you're like, man, if I knew then what I know now, my school experience would have been totally different. This is a lot like that, like I'm in my mid-20s now, and I've grown a lot as a person. In high school I was really quiet, just doing my dirt, and I tried to stay out of the spotlight as much as possible. But I was able to take all of that knowledge, all of that life lessons that I've learned since then, and take it with me to my next step in life. And I found that it's really, really been helpful. You know what I mean? Like, I was able to hit the restart button with a group of people that doesn't know anything about my past, doesn't know anything about my history, and I was able to let them know who I am now, and they can't judge me off of who I used to be because they don't know that person. All they can see is who I am now. And it's great to have that because it's a good thing to do because it allows you to see how people who doesn't know who you were perceive you now. Because if you stay in your hometown your whole life or around the same people you've always been around, then they're always going to perceive you as who they know you've been before. Because, the rule of thumb is you can't change. And that's true in a sense. You can't change who you are. You just become more of who you already were. But you learn and you become better at who you were. You know what I mean? If you're someone that loves, organization, you're going to become more organized as life goes on. If you're someone that likes music and going out and watching live bands play, and, someone that, you're going to become more of that. You can't change who you are inside. You can go against who you are, but you're going to have a miserable life. But at the end of the day, if you choose to be happy, choose to want to live to be happy, you just become more of who you already are as life goes on. I've learned that in some psychology studies I've been doing. I've been really getting into psychology, by the way. And it's psychology and sociology. How people interact in social settings and how people interact in their head and their thought patterns. Those are the two career choices that I'm wanting to get. By the time I get my doctorates, my PhD in psychology, I want to have a master's in sociology. And what's cool is since I have retinitis pigmentosus, RP for short, I'm getting school, basically I'm getting a free ride through school. As long as, well, there's certain things I can't talk about right now, like I said, give it time, but I've been given a chance, you know what I mean? And there's certain points, what I like to call flag points, where life hands you a bone. And it's not going to be an easy bone to accept, but you have a chance to change your entire life. Maybe it's a chance to move out to somewhere brand new, like Jacksonville, Florida. Just a random thought. You could move down there and have a brand new start in life. Or, in that, that's a flag moment. Or a chance to where you get college handed in your lap for free, where you can go get a free ride through college and have an actual career and make a difference in people's lives. You know what I mean? Most people don't like change. In general, people don't like change. And in general, people want a pattern that is predictable because that's comfortable, because you don't have as much unknown stressors. But in actuality, if that's how you live your life, so be it. There's nothing wrong with that if that's how you choose it. But I can't find happiness in that. I've tried that. I've tried the whole settle down and start a family thing with Holly, the girl I was with last year. We lived together for a year. Things were great. And honestly, I thought for my whole life that's what I wanted. I thought my entire life, I want to have a relationship. I want to be able to start a family and settle down. If I can do that, I'll find happiness. That was my whole thing for years, since as far as I can remember. Turns out, that's not what's going to make me happy. Why? Because I still had need, like something I needed to fulfill. You know what I mean? I needed a reason to continue on outside of a love interest and a potential family and blah blah blah. So I needed a way that I could help people. I wanted to do something that could help people. I wanted to do something that could help people that other people didn't want to do. And I wanted to do something where I could be happy doing it and I could make a difference in people's lives that otherwise may not have a difference to be made in. And that's why I chose grievance counseling. I've gone through hell, man. Um, I have. The amount of crap that's gone on in my life, I think that my entire life, everything I've gone through has been building me up in one way or another to get me to the point to where I can go to college and I can have the experiences necessary to be able to deal with working with terminal children. You know what I mean? Because one thing that people have been telling me is if you do this job, this is like the job that no one wants, because why do people want to have a job where there's no way of a happy outcome? You know what I mean? But there is. Just because their life is going to be short and because they know they're going to die, how does that make that any different than you and me? You know what I mean? Because we honestly, just because some of us may not be dying of eternal illness, doesn't mean we're not going to die young. Doesn't mean that your life's going to be any better than theirs. You know what I mean? The only difference is they may have an expiration date where you don't know yours. So what if that's the case? You know what I mean? If I can help children get through grief and help them understand that, you know what, man, it is pretty messed up. It's pretty shitty that life handed you these cards. But at the end of the day, you're alive right now. Your lifestyle may not be the greatest. But what makes you happy? What makes you tick at the end of the day? What makes you who you are? You know what I mean? And I want to do that. I feel like that's exactly where I need to be in life. I need to be a grievance counselor for terminal children. That's what I'm going to do. And nothing's going to stop me from doing that. Like, I'm pretty damn dedicated. And when I get dedicated on something, I get obsessive over something. Obsessive, not obsessive. If I become obsessed with it, something I want to do or something I want in life, a lot of people can tell you I stick it out and I find a way to make it happen for me. And I try until I fight tooth and nail for that, until there's no tooth and nail to be fighting with. You know what I mean? So I know I'm going to be able to do this. I know it's going to be great. But, and I find it funny how like people say, whenever you move or you go to another town, it's the same people, different faces. You know what I mean? And that may be true in a lot of ways, because one thing I noticed when I got to Raleigh, I started to meet people that reminded me of people at home. I met this man named Donnie. You know what I mean? Donnie reminded me of this guy that I used to take me to church named Chad. Didn't look like him, didn't sound like him, but the way his thought patterns and the way he spoke, his mannerisms, were so much about this guy named Chad. And it was really nice to be able to have that in my life. Another person is, I met this guy named Ken, and it freaked me out for the first couple of days. I was pretty conflicted because he reminded me so much of this guy I used to know named John Smith. The way he talked, his voice, he could pass for John Smith in his voice. He could pass for John Smith in almost his looks. He's skinny and frail, and his mannerisms, and his thought patterns, his thought process is all John Smith. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, John died. I'm not going to get into that, but may he rest in peace. To each his own. But he did pass away a year or two ago. But anyways, I noticed something there. That is a thing. You will find people that remind you of people back home, and then you will find people that that don't. That maybe every town doesn't have the same masks. You know what I mean? And I found that in Raleigh. I found people that were like me, surprisingly, in good ways and bad ways. I found people that, I've got piercings and tattoos and whatnot. Well, in Raleigh, I found that I blend in crowds. There's hundreds of people that have the same taste I do. And then there's people out there that are open like me, open-minded. I come from a really small southern town. So when I got to a good-sized city, Raleigh, and I seen that there are people out there that are open-minded about the world like I am in every way, my beliefs are that, everybody, I believe that nothing you want in life is going to just jump in your lap. And I believe that no one thing has the right answer. You know what I mean? And I'm really open-minded. I'm really, receptive to new ideas and new thoughts. And, because I find that so interesting in how people come up with these new ideas or new beliefs or new whatever. And I love to talk to new people about that. And it was so great being able to be surrounded by people that had the same ideas, the same belief structures as in that, you know what I mean? And just to be able to make that connection with people that I have been able to do here at home, because I live in what they call the Bible Belt. Sucks, but it was a great experience, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. I really wouldn't. I also had a couple of love interests down there in Raleigh, and that's a part of the whole thing I'm not going to get into right now, but I don't want to get anybody in trouble. So I'm going to keep it to myself for now until I know that it can't get them in trouble. That is the reason why I'm not talking about it. It's not to protect myself. It's to protect them. Because if it's not been on the news yet, it's probably not going to be, hopefully. But I did, because when you connect with someone that's just open and free mind, has a free mind like you and is open-spirited and, just receptive to I believe that I'm not going to say what I believe on here because it's YouTube, but I had great experiences, and so I'm sorry I haven't been on in a while, guys. I'm surprised that I still have my subscribers, I figured that after I went a couple months without posting some videos, my count would go and kind of spewed out, and probably I was thinking maybe it'd level out around 64, but no, it stayed up in the 90s range. I mean, hell, 90 something subscribers is good for me. I mean, this is honestly just a video vlog, and this is gonna sound weird, but this will kind of give you an insight in how weird and messed up my thought pattern is. But You know, I'm a Pisces, so I daydream a lot, and I live in my dreams a lot, and a lot of times my dreams come true in actuality in the way that, in weird ways. But the reason I do this YouTube channel, there's really three main reasons, and anytime I give someone any reasons for something, I only have two, but I always say three, and the reason I do that is because I'm like, well, here's the two reasons why. Well, what's the third? Haven't thought of it yet, but I'll let you know when it comes. You know what I mean? And I'll leave it at that. But the first one is, it's great stress reliever. Being able to have a video diary and to write music and stuff of things that really, like all my music. If I didn't ever make any of my music, and yes, that's what I'm calling it. F you. You can go suck a dick. But it may not be good, like sound-wise, but it was good as an emotional check for me. You know what I mean? It was a good source of venting, because back in school, I played in a band, I wrote music, I wrote poetry. I wrote a lot of poems. I mean, a lot of poems. I loved writing poetry. And after high school, I needed a way to do that, because I was depressed, man. I honestly believe if I wouldn't have made those songs, I would have killed myself a long time ago. Writing music gave me a way to be able to release my emotions and not take them out on me, myself. And then the second reason is because one day I'm going to be dead. And surprise, surprise, one day you're going to be dead too, motherfucker. So don't think you're going to be that one the one person that lives forever, because tough shit, you're not. And neither am I. Although I did read an article that said that there's a person alive now that will live to be 200. Probably not going to be me. Probably not going to be you. I mean, look at me. I'm smoking a damn cigarette. Definitely ain't going to make it to 200. But, life expectancy will get bigger as time goes on. Well, will increase, but no one's going to live forever. And a lot of... I'm not going to get off in this tantrum, but I want to. Let's see. I'm on 22. Fuck it, I will get off in this tantrum. And a lot of people believe in... I'm going to tell you something that I've been told a lot, I'm an open-minded person. What I like to call myself is... hold on a second. I'm trying to get this out from getting wet. I'm an agnostic atheist, which means as followed. I do not believe that there is or isn't a God. I don't know, because I've not seen evidence in either way. And there very much well could be a higher power. Maybe it's not what we call God, but maybe there is some sort of higher power. I'm a realistic, by the way, so it's really hard for me to... And I spent years trying to come up with something that made sense to me. But I'm also an atheist, because if there is a higher power, then there is and there isn't. I don't know. But I'm an atheist because from what I can see, there isn't. But I'm not going to get off in this. I don't judge. I have Christian friends. I have die-hard Christian friends, and I have read the Bible. I've went to church a lot in my life. I've read the Bible. I know the Bible, and, well, that's only one religion. Well, I've read the Holy Bible. I've read the Quran. And I've even read the Satanic Bible. Not because I'm a Satanist. Never been one. Why'd I read it? Because it's a literature of a certain thought process, and I knew I was going to need it if I wanted to get in this career, and because I don't need to explain myself to you. I already told you what I was, and I told you what I read. If you don't like it, you got a problem with it, go fuck yourselves, because I live in America, and I can read and do whatever I want, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else. But I've read those things, and I enjoy them as literature pieces, and I enjoy them as, maybe not as, a man did not get swallowed up by a whale. I'm sorry. That is impossible to happen, proven by science. But maybe it's less of a literal sense and more of a, like emotional, like way of life, way of living. Like maybe there are books of stories that will teach you, more morality. You know what I mean, or things like that. But well, what I was trying to get at before I got off on the other thing, got off on the other thing, and so on and so forth. My second reasoning is like I said, we're all going to be dead. We're all going to die. I've accepted the fact when I die, I'm going to cease to exist like I was like before I was alive. For years, I used to get panic attacks even thinking about that. I was like, this sucks. I know it's true to me, and it sucks because one day, and my humanity, the thing inside of all of us that forces us to want to live, was telling me. Anyways, it was telling me that's not true, blah 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 blah. But maybe there is a God. Maybe there isn't. So don't hit me with lightning, please. I'm just gonna say that maybe there is or isn't. But if there isn't a God, and if this does end after we die, there's two things I thought of. One, if there is an afterlife, it's not going to be what we all think it is. You know what I mean? And I do believe that there is such thing as ghosts, and that there is such thing as, like weird phenomenons like that. How can you believe that if you're an atheist? Well, I'll tell you why. We live in a world where we don't know everything, and we never will. And when we don't understand something, we chalk it up as hoodoo, ho-ha, and higawagawa. You know what I mean? Like, we used to believe the world, everything revolved around Earth, because that's how self-centered we fucking are. And then, holy shit, we revolve around the sun. And then, holy shit, we're just one galaxy. Holy shit, we're one universe. Oh my god, we're just one little fucking dot in the middle of the fucking cosmos that just could be a pimple on someone's fucking right toe, for all we know. You know what I mean? But if there is an afterlife, here's my two theories of what it is, okay? Now this is proven. Our brains release electrical impulses that controls our body. And not only does it have a field that can, like there is such thing as and it does. How do you think you move your body? Your brain's releasing an electrical impulse that travels down your spine and throughout your body, and it contracts and uncontracts your muscles. And that is how we move. That's how we live. That's how we're alive right now. So there is electrical impulses that our brain is creating. Now, what creates those? How do we need electrical impulse to create electrical impulse? You know what I mean? How were we created in the womb to where we are alive to have electrical impulses? From our mothers, right? And our fathers. So here's the thing. No energy can be destroyed. None. All energy will just change from one form of energy to another. And it'll just continue to change forever. There can never be any more energy now than there was before, and there can never be any less. All the energy that's inside of you, that controls you, and that controls everything, will continue to go on after you die somehow. Now, being realistic in an unrealistic way, this is how my brain has processed this information. So, this is how I explain ghosts. Emotional feelings and things that we feel in our body are broken down into one of two categories. One, it's a physical response to a stressor, and it can cause physical harm to you and emotional harm. So, but it all comes back to all we are little trickles of electricity, which is in our brains, which is like a supercomputer. That's all we are. We're a thought pattern of electricity when you go down to it. And if you want to go even deeper, we don't even exist. We're 99.99 empty space And we're 0.00001% here. The rest of it is just empty space. And part of that non-empty space is electrical impulses, which allows us to make up who we are. So, if someone dies in a tragic way, and let's say someone gets shot and they're laying on the ground dying, your body releases DTM, your brain starts going in this weird, psychotic, trip, because that's what your body does. When your body starts to die, your body gets flooded with DTM so that your brain moves off into a safe place in your head so you don't freak out while you're dying. That's just science, bitches. And so, you get shot and you're dying. You're laying there dying. You get full of all these traumatic emotions. Your body starts having a panic attack. Let's say that in your brain, your body starts flooding with electrical impulses, and then your body dies. Doesn't mean those electrical impulses are going to die. And those electrical impulses can affect things outside of your body. Your brain can have a big influence on material items, material things, and you're saying, okay, this is hoodoo baka bega booga hoodoo shit. No, this is proven. Why do you think that people can put from the 1980s, you could put a headband on people that are paralyzed? And there's two ways. There's one that'll follow your eyes, and there's one that uses brain patterns where people that can't move, that are paralyzed, can communicate with other people by thinking of letters. Okay, I want you what they do is they put the strap around your head, and they say, think of the letter B. They think the letter B, and then they save the thought pattern. Okay, when he thinks the letter B, this is what happens in his brain. So every time he thinks like this, we're going to assume that he's thinking the letter B. So they can have a way of communicating, right? Right. Well, that is the brain influencing something in the material world outside of the body. That's just a science way of looking at it. Now, there's millions of different ways people can explain that to you as this is another way, this is another way. I'm just going to give you that one way because that's proven by science, and that can't be disputed. Other ways can be, but this one cannot be. So your brain can influence things outside of your body, right? Because it's electrical impulses, which means you have to make an electrical field, your body does. That's also been proven by science. And, certain people like to say auras. You know what I mean? Oh, your aura, blah, blah, blah. That's just another word for your electrical field that your body produces because of the impulse that your brain has, which can be altered and changed due to your mood and blah, 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 blah. Well, if you're laying there dying and you're going through all these tragic emotions and stuff, your body dies. Doesn't mean those electrical impulses are dying. Doesn't mean they're going to fade away instantly. You may be dead, but your electrical impulses may not be trapped inside of your body anymore. You may have hit that right combination. You may have figured out the eject button. I don't know. But maybe your electrical impulses found another source of energy besides your human body, which literally that's all it is a